Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our virtual classroom. Today, or rather in this video, I'm going to be going over numbers 1, 2, and 3 of today's assignment. So again, numbers 1, 2, and 3, and then there's going to be a following video where I go over 4, 5, 6, and 7. So let us begin. Let us begin. All right, let me zoom in here so we can clearly see what's going on. This is number 1, and I'm not going to be giving answers for these. Rather, I just want to stir your understanding as you're going through these problems. Number 1, which problem situation corresponds to the equation 12.5 plus x is equal to 62 and 5/10? So the important information is obviously right here. I encourage you to write that down in your notebook, as I do want you to show your work in these problems. 12.5 plus x is equal to 62.5. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what is the operation that we are doing? Okay, obviously we are adding. This is addition, right? We are adding 12.5 and something else to get to 62.5. So we need to see which of these situations involves adding. You know, we're combining something and something else. It could be a word that we're looking for. We are maybe we're combining two things, or we're adding two things. We're putting two things together. For example, if I look at A, Gabby owes her mother $62.50, which is the same thing as 62.5. Gabby will pay her mother $12.50 each week until all the money is paid back. How many weeks X will it take Gabby to pay her mother? Ladies and gentlemen, we know that the word each means that we're doing the same thing over and over and over again. In other words, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, and 12.5. We are multiplying. Now here, are we multiplying at all? No. So obviously, based on the words, the important information that I saw, A cannot be the right answer. So follow that same logic. Okay, which of these involves combining 12.5 and something else, putting two things together to get to 62.5. So that is number 1. Moving on to number 2. This is now number 2. Let's do the same thing. Richard can mow 2 of his neighbor's lawns in 1.6 hours. He expressed this information as the ratio 2 lawns over 1.6 hours. To find the number of lawns he mows each hour he can. Okay, so important information. Really, he can mow 2 lawns in 1.6 hours. But that is already expressed to us right here. So let's go ahead and write that down. So this is our word fraction. We're doing lawns per hour, right? And it's 2 lawns in 1.6 hours, right? 2 lawns in 1.6 hours. However, we don't want to know how many lawns he does in 1.6 hours. We want to know how many lawns he does each hour. How many lawns can he do each hour? Which means that we want to know how many lawns he does in 1 hour. And now, so in essence, we need to find another ratio. However, not having 2 lawns in 1.6 hours, but how many lawns in 1 hour? So you need to ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen, what do we have to do to 1.6 to get to 1? And do the same thing to 2. Or, ladies and gentlemen, this is another one of those where you can cross multiply. You can do 1.6x and 1 times 2, right? 1.6x and 1 times 2, which is 2, and then isolate the variable. So again, either one. Now that we've discussed it, I want you to look at the answer choices and see if you can figure out which one it is. Finally, in this short video, let's go over number 3. And this reads, Landon owns 16 baseball cards, which is 4 times as many as Philip owns. The equation 4p equals 16 represents the situation where P is the number of baseball cards Philip owns. Which number line represents the solution to the equation? This is one of those where they give you the equation that you need. Okay, they give you the equation or expression or inequality that you need. So 4p, 4 times Philip's cards is equal to 16. And we want to know which of this number lines, which of these number lines represents the situation, okay? Well, ladies and gentlemen, they give us the equation. I want you to go ahead and solve the equation. And we know that when solving equations, our goal is always the same. Our goal is to isolate the variable. We want the variable to be all by itself. Once you isolate the variable, which of these number lines represents this situation? Okay. Now keep in mind though, this is not an inequality. Okay, an inequality, for example, this one, I guess the answer is going to be 4, because notice how they all focus on 4. So actually, let me go ahead and solve this equation. We know that we need to isolate the variable. The opposite of multiplying by 4 is to divide by 4, so that now P is all by itself. However, whatever I do to one side, we do to the other. So 16 divided by 4 is 4. So P is equal to 4. Now look at each of these number lines, ladies and gentlemen. Notice that, for example, this first one shows that we are here at 4. So P is over here. P is anything that is greater than 4, but not 4. Okay. Now, is this even an inequality? No, P is only just 4. It's not anything bigger than 4. It can't be 4 and something else. It is just 4. It is an equation. So which of these shows just an equation? Okay, so go ahead and try that on your own, see if you can figure it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in order to keep this video short, I'm going to stop right now. The following video will show the next problems. And so with that in mind, I will see you again.